Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na, 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 da-na. Coffee. Avec Todd? Oui. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee with Todd here on May 9th. May 9th. It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. That's a mother. I mean, if you're not a mother, happy Mother's Day to you as well. And welcome to Coffee with Todd, where we have coffee with me. I'm Todd, and we sing some songs as well. And we are going to do that in just a minute. But first, we need to get some coffee. So I've got my trusty paper towel here. Good morning, David. I've got a paper towel. I'm preparing for the spill. I've got my trusty coffee pot. Let's see what happens as we pour ourselves a cup of coffee for this beautiful Sunday, where we're supposed to have some sunshine. Oh, success. So there's some blue sky coming through. All right. So we're supposed to see some sunshine today. And then we woke up and we looked at the weather app and it was just clouds across the board. But now the sun's coming back out. I think the weather app was just a little confused. And that's great because I need to mow my lawn. Hey, coming up on the show this morning, I'm so excited to bring on singer-songwriter Wes Collins. He's from North Carolina. I believe it's the Chapel Hill area, but we'll ask him. I do not want to get it wrong. So Wes Collins will be joining us. I'll tell you more about Wes in a few minutes, and then we'll bring him on to talk to him and to listen to some songs. But I think that right now we should probably get the show underway. So let's do it. Grab yourself a cup of coffee, and I'll be your Todd. Coffee with Todd starts right now. And there we are. Good morning, everybody. I can't remember what kind of coffee I made this morning. It was either that Wicked Joe's stuff or it's Starbucks. I don't remember. That's probably not good. You know what? It's going to be the Wicked Joe stuff because Starbucks tastes like it's burned all the time. Even if you buy it in the store, it's like they burn it extra in the bag just for you. Anyway, welcome to, I wasn't even thinking, it's the Mother's Day edition of Coffee with Todd. And Why, I certainly don't have any Mother's Day songs prepared, but I'll just sing fun songs, and that'll be cool. Speaking of mothers, happy Mother's Day to my stepmother, Lindy. They are on the road. Oh, but they're listening in the RV. They've been hibernating in Florida for the winter, but now they are heading back to Vermont. And I hope that the sunshine that's peeking through the skies is something that you're bringing with you, because it's been cloudy and rainy for weeks, and we need some sunshine. But anyway, happy Mother's Day, Lindy. We love you, and we'll see you soon when they get home. And I don't know the rules anymore, but they've both been vaccinated, so they don't have to quarantine. Something like that. And we've been vaccinated, so we can just go cough on them right when they get home. That's how that works, right? Anyway, thank you so much, Danielle. Good morning. She got her Prolix. We'll talk about that in a few minutes as well. My pleasure. I'm so glad that you got that. All right, let's get this show started. So on the show this morning, we have Wes Collins. He's going to be joining us virtually, of course, from North Carolina, where the weather is much nicer. And next week, Tim Brick will be joining us. So we've got lots of fun stuff underway. I met Wes. I lied. I just barely met Wes this morning during sound check. I saw Wes play at the Falcon Ridge Folk Festival, and I loved his set. And I sent him an email or a Facebook message or whatever the kids are calling it these days. and I said I really enjoyed the set, and I hope that I can meet you. And then I spent the rest of the weekend walking amongst 5,000 to 7,000 people, and I never met him. But here's the thing. Danielle and I were sitting way up on the hill of Falcon Ridge while he was playing. So my eyesight's not the greatest. We could have walked by him and I didn't even know. But we're going to meet him today, and he's going to sing some songs for us, and it's going to be super fun. So let's get the show started. Let's grab a sip of coffee. I'm going to sing a song, and then we'll bring Wes on to sing a song as well. Well, I get up on Monday and I drag myself to work. I'd like to punch more than the clock. My manager's a jerk. But I put the blinders on 'cause I've got bills to pay. And if I don't pay them, well, they'll take my car away. My father always tells me I should get a better job. He says I work too damn hard for what little that I've got. But it's hard to draft your resume while lacing up your boots. So I keep pressing on, 'cause that's what people do. And it ain't so hard. It ain't so hard. If I'm a coming home to you. My cousin, he quit drinking. He walks 12 steps a day. He's drinking coffee in church basements to keep the monkey away. Says it keeps him humble, and he's thankful for what he's got. But since it's almost legal now, he says he's never quitting pot. And it ain't so hard. It ain't so hard. If I'm a coming home to you, no, it ain't so hard. It ain't so hard. If I'm a coming home to you. to comfort. And I don't mean to waste your time, but when you drag yourself home, feeling useless and alone, you got a way of making things alright. My brother, he's divorced now. His ex-wife has moved on. With all the joint bank accounts and his ex-best man run, he has a little apartment that's next to the town garage. He spends his nights on Tinder, but he swears it's Match.com. Yeah, it ain't so hard. It ain't so hard. If I'm coming home to you, no, it ain't so hard. It ain't so hard. If I'm coming home to you. Oh, thank you. All right. I forgot to throw out my little tip jar, so I'm throwing it out right now. Ready? Catch. There it is. If you'd like to support the show, every little bit helps as we pay our streaming fees and our internet fees and our coffee fees and our taxes. Oh my God, I get my taxes done. Shh, don't tell anybody. Anyway, there's the link right there. There's links in the description too if you'd like to get yourself one of these cool Coffee with Todd coffee mugs. All right, I'm gonna bring my guest on, but first, I wished a happy Mother's Day to my stepmother. I'm gonna also wish a happy Mother's Day to my mother, even though she is no longer with us. Here she is at the Relay for Life with me and the radio station mascot eating her head, I guess. I don't know. I always love this picture of her because I feel like it captures that smile that everybody knew and loved. So there's the picture of me mummy, and happy Mother's Day to everybody out there that is a mother. Oh man, we got so many people. Good morning, Al. And yes, happy Mother's Day to all the moms watching. Yes, David, I do need a new coffee maker. But you know what? Well, it's not the coffee maker that's the problem. I think it's the pot that's the problem. It's not leaking so bad. Ow! What are you gonna do? All right. Let me, just like an anchor person from a news station, I will put in my earbuds now so I can be fed all the questions from my producer. You're not going to do that. Danielle's like, no. She's not 100% today. Can I tell him what happened?
It's fine, good.
Yeah. So Danielle had her wisdom teeth taken out on Thursday. And so she's not drinking coffee right now. And she's kind of sitting over there on the couch looking like a chipmunk a little bit. But she's doing good. She's doing good. I like that, David. Yeah, I should change the name of the show of Coffee with Todd to Coffee on Todd. All right. Enough dilly-dallying here this morning. Let's bring our guest on and say hi. He is from North Carolina, where they've had spring for a couple months now. Here in Vermont, you know, we're just this is just an appetizer to spring. And he's gonna sing us some songs in chat. His name is Wes Collins, and here he comes. Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah.
How's it going, man?
Hey Todd, it's going great. It's actually a little chilly
Is
down
it?
here in Chapel Hill today, which is very odd for mid-May. Normally we're into what my, my nephew-in-law called it the damp mouth of summer the other night. That's a very good phrase. I'm stealing that.
The
But
damp
yeah,
mouth of
yeah,
summer.
yeah, it's like generally by this time, it's like we've had a couple of 85-degree days, and then you hit 90, and then
Yeah.
you're pushing up against double digits pretty quick, and it stays that way into September.
And it's pretty humid there too.
Yeah,
Correct? Yeah.
yeah, very well. Not right now.
No?
Right now, what this is doing is clarifying like butter. It's like we have these rainstorms, and then the air is nice and crisp like fall, with puddles everywhere. Which is awesome because we've had the pollen here. Everything is just yellowish green. It looks like sulfur out there, and so when you get these what they call frog stranglers down here, which are just gully washing rain, and that takes all the pollen away. So we're real grateful for that. Great.
Not
We're
super-
also grateful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not super familiar with Chapel Hill, though. I know a lot of great musicians have come out of that era. Like Tiff Merritt is
Yeah.
an artist that came from that area.
Hmm.
Is near Raleigh, Durham?
Yeah. We're half hour, 40 minutes from Raleigh.
Okay. So I've been through, I believe. I'm more familiar with Wilmington.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That lives in Wilmington, and he lived in Greenville too. I for a brief moment I thought about maybe going to college to Eastern Carolina University.
Oh, okay. So Greenville, South Carolina.
No, it's
There is a
North
Greenville,
Carolina.
North Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah, it was East Carolina University.
Yeah. ECU. I actually went to ECU for a little while to get my MLS to be a librarian
Oh, interesting.
virtually.
Virtually.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I was a internet student.
Everything's virtual these days.
That's right. This was cutting edge in 2007.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how, like, if you think back to even 3 years ago, with Skype, it wasn't as good as what we have now.
Oh, nowhere near.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you got a powerful enough computer and fiber, or whatever, you can just be in the room with somebody.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's great. I mean, unfortunately, COVID kind of sidelined a lot of us and took us off the road. But the blessing of it is I get to meet you, like,
Yeah.
where I didn't really meet you at Falcon Ridge. I was running around looking, but there's a
Yeah.
lot of people.
Everybody was doing that at Falcon Ridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how I first learned about you. My girlfriend and I were sitting up there. You were playing the grassy. Do they call it the grassy hill there too, or is that just curvy?
I don't know. It sounds right. That sounds
Yeah,
right.
I think it is. But you were playing.
It's
at
an
that.
emerging artist
That's the
thing.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we always sit way up on the hill to kind of be out of the crowd a little bit and just kind of sprawl out. And we dug your set, and I said, "Oh, I gotta get a hold of this guy." So I remember I sent you this message on Facebook, and then I said, "Well, I'm sure I'll run into him over the weekend." And
It didn't happen. My main memory of that set is that I walked right out there, put a thing of water on a stool next to me, and instantly knocked it over.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said something like, "Oh, that was bound to happen."
Yeah.
I knew I was going to do that or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's part of my set. I do that
Yes.
every time.
Yeah. It's incorporated.
Yeah.
Good. That's your niche.
Yeah, it's puddle music. Yeah.
So I was I was reading your bio, and I found it interesting. Like, you didn't really start doing the music thing until fairly recently. You and your wife just kind of made a pact that you were going to both be writers and just did it. Is that correct?
That is kind of what happened. Yeah, Anita writes prose,
Hmm.
and she's been published in the New York, in the North Carolina Literary Review magazine. And yeah, we just were like, yeah, we're going to do this. And I was in my uh, mid 40s at the time, and I mean, so it's not that recently. It was like 2004.
Okay.
But I was 44 and she was, 30, pushing 40 at that point. And I'd never written a song at that point. I'd been playing for a long time, but I'd never written anything because I was scared to write bad songs.
Right.
And
I specialize in those.
yeah, I mean, it's you just got to write them, just get them out of the way. And yeah, so that's kind of what happened. And we both just kind of carved out time. That was, our kids were getting old enough to where we didn't have to make sure they weren't dying every second of every day. They were in school and had extracurricular activities and stuff like that. So we were able to just apportion a little bit of our brains towards writing. But yeah, we needed some accountability. Like if I wasn't writing, Anita could go, tut tut, You're learning another Radiohead tune. Awesome. Did you write anything? No.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good to have that accountability. I don't know. Songwriting to me seems to be like the only profession where somebody can call themselves a songwriter but hate actually writing songs.
I don't know anybody who doesn't.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I got this stupid verse that I need to finish, and I'm gonna go for a bike ride.
Right. That'll help me. I can write better. I mean, that is actually true for me. If I have a guitar in my hands, my ability to write a lyric is absolutely erased. I just cannot come up with a good line with the guitar in my hands. I have to be in the car or otherwise engaged, folding laundry, walking the dog, something like that. I can come up with melodies when I'm on the guitar, but the words are not accessible to me when I'm playing. And I can't remember. I know somebody listening knows who that's who came up with this. But I hate to write. I love having written. It's just, there's nothing better than finishing a song, but it's toil, to actually write it. But when, for me, it's like, there are moments along the way, there's that graph you'll see where it's like, this is awesome. This is tricky. This is crap. I am crap. Might be okay. This is awesome. And it kind of goes in that circle. And for me, it's like, as I'm writing, if I'm onto something good, I'll get these moments that are like, okay, I'm not going to abandon this song. Yeah. It's now three quarters not bad, and then like at some point you're like, this song is done, and there's no charge like it for me to be like, yeah, that's one in the done column. I can actually play that for people and I'm not wince during any of it.
Now, because your wife is also a writer, do you like compare? Like, does she help you edit, or does she?
She does. She's really great at knowing when to weigh in. Yeah. She's learned that if she weighs in too early, she'll just stomp the song flat and it won't ever. Okay, that's a terrible idea. I will move on. And she's learned to like wait till it's cooked a little bit. And then she can ask me, what kind of feedback are you looking for? Are you looking for, I think this is really close, or I don't know what you're talking about here, or whatever. She knows how far to thrust at what point, right. Like when I come to her with, I think this song is done. She knows that like, all right, I can come at you with both barrels here. It's like, yeah, okay, well then what's it about? because I don't know, or I don't know, but that's okay because I like it anyway, or whatever. But early on, if I'm like, is this a thing? She knows better than to say, no, that's not a thing.
That's
You
not.
know? And she's got gradients along the way. Those are some of my best songs I've sent to her, and she's like, you're onto something here, but this part here doesn't agree with this part down here. All you got to do is make these two agree, and now, and I don't know, somehow that like puts me back in touch with the cogs, that are turning, and be like, oh, and that changes this, and that changes, and then I'll come back. She's like, there you go.
Yeah.
And
that's a valuable asset to have, and it's also good to be open to the. I don't know if I want to use the word criticism, but open to the suggestion, I guess.
Yeah, critique.
Critique. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the pride of a songwriter could be like, oh no, I can just write this, this perfect song like "What a Wonderful World" all by myself. And,
right.
But the reality is like 3 people wrote "What a Wonderful World."
Right. Yeah. It's like, and it was all, I don't know. It's like, to me, it's the amount of yes that you bring to the process. It's like if you co-write with somebody who's like, they just pick up on the cool thing that you did and not the 25 lame things that you brought, but that 26th thing was like, oh yeah, and we can, yeah. And then you bounce off of that, and then you get energy going, and you've got a song before long, Right. Whereas like, yeah, I don't know if I, well, okay, it's dead in the water, and Anita is really good at that, at being going, oh yeah, I think I hear where you're going with this, and then won't go, you're going here with this, and like nail it down. She like leaves possibility open, while actually being measurably encouraging.
Encouragement is good.
yeah, but not falsely, not just like, good try,
Good try.
I can see you've made an effort. That's awesome.
I love it, man.
So, yeah.
I like your songs. I like that you incorporate a little bit of like wittiness into them. To me, I feel like I connect with that, because I feel like sometimes as artists we take ourselves way too seriously. So I like to hear a little bit of that. I mean, it obviously has its time and its place. You don't want to be doing like a comedy album, but
yeah,
I love it. Is she like that too, or does she try to tone down some of that?
Oh no, you mean like, is she like that in person? She's very, very funny.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah.
I meant more with your writing. Like, does she ever say, no, that's too goofy, or that's too serious or something?
There have been 1 or 2 times when my songs have gotten like a little dour, and she's like, yeah, this is a lot. But not ever to the point where like, and you shouldn't do that, but just kind of like, yeah, this, if you're going for that, you have arrived. It's nice and sad. I mean, there is one song that I think I'm actually going to record, that was so sad at the end. It was practically poisonous.
Oh.
And she said so. She's like, that song hurts me. I don't like that. Not saying it's a bad song, but just like that's an awful lot, and it made me, rethink that. It's like, yeah, I don't want to hurt people,
Right. So you were able to tweak it and change it around just a little bit.
Yeah. I was able to back off of it's what I think of as triggers. It's like when you'll get a thing and like, yeah, I can write a song around that. And then you write the song, and the thing that you built the song around actually ends up being the weakest thing in the song. And you really don't want to let it go. That murder your darlings thing. You know, it's like just you got to let it go because it's, you know, it is the thing that got the song written, but it's now holding the song back.
Yeah.
You know,
If you love it, let it go.
right? You know, it's, I mean, it's on a piece of paper somewhere. You can always go back and get it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
You could always maybe spring off of it for something else too.
yeah, I mean, I've definitely done that. You know, it's like, okay, this is a repository of decent lines that I might use somewhere else. Or maybe it'll just sit there in that notebook and nobody will ever, you know, that's kind of a freeing thing, is to know that you can do that. You can just you can write something and enjoy that you got it written. Nobody needs to hear that.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, speaking of songs, let's have you do a couple songs.
Okay.
And
I thought
then we'll chat some more afterwards.
I thought I'd do one of the songs that I think I did this song at that emerging artist thing at Falcon Ridge. Since it is Mother's Day, this song is actually it is about Anita. It's about the day that I told her how I felt about her. And she tells me that this song is like 60% accurate, but 100% true, right? Because it's a so this song is called Pelican, and it goes approximately like this. I'm going to take these headphones off, and
Yeah, I don't blame you.
so here we go. Pelican. I'll wave you on in. You don't have to knock anymore. You offer me half of your coffee like you're gonna need it. Get in the door. My place is a spot to get out of the weather. You duck in sometimes when it rains. You could beat a path home, but your mail, it gets soggy that way. You leave your boots on, I don't care what you're tracking in. I brew up my own, 'cause I'm not big on nutmeg and cinnamon. Yeah, you don't have to look up from your phone. I like how it lights up your face. Yeah, that came out kind of creepy. I hope you don't take it that way. And I can be super poetic and stuff, but I'll shut up before that kicks in. A much better bet would be to see if I could get you to put a latte through your nose again. I'm on board for wherever you're driving this story. You know what? Maybe not. I forgot you can get kind of morbid. So I can be awkward and more than a little indelicate. And as far as being graceful and poised, I've been compared to a pelican. So I got no method or strategy to get you to toe off those galoshes and stay. Yeah, looks like my big play is to just say it. I like you that way.
That's great. You totally played that song at Falcon Ridge. I
Yeah.
remember it. Yeah, yeah. I also remember you played a song called "I Love You Guys."
Yeah.
That line about the cell phone and the light and stuff is so cool because it. I also have a person that I bounce song ideas off of,
Mm-hmm.
and we try it. Like whenever you mention a cell phone, it's really hard because you don't want it to come off as like too I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. You don't want it to come off as like forced, but at
Yeah.
the same time, yeah, it's just like really tricky to work stuff like that in. So
It's in the room, you know. I mean, it's happening. So
Yeah. yeah, what is it? Vance Gilbert calls like he says everybody's like this and they're in a cafe and the phone he calls it blue chin. So everybody out in the audience has the blue chin looking at their phone.
Well,
And,
that's one
you
of the
know,
things that is inaccurate about the song is that this occurred in 1988. So there was no
what kind of phone did you have?
Yeah. I had a phone that attached to the wall with a long cord. So there was no
remember-
need to stare at a phone at the time.
Do you remember those phones that they were clear so you could see all the circuitry on the
Oh yeah, yeah,
inside?
yeah. I never had one. And they had like LEDs in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could have been the light.
Yeah.
I remember asking my parents, like begging them and begging them and begging them to get that phone. And then I don't know how old I was before they let me have the phone in my room. Maybe junior high. And I got one of those phones. And then every time I got grounded, they took the phone out of my room so I couldn't talk to people.
Yeah, grounded means grounded, man.
Yeah. Can you imagine being a kid nowadays and they just take away your cell phone and like your whole life goes away?
So yeah, you got to look up at the popcorn ceiling and just figure out your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do another song.
All right. I will do another. This is a really sad one.
Okay.
In fact, it's so sad and it's so new that I need the lyrics for it.
Oh, so we're getting an exclusive then.
Well, yeah. I mean, other than I think I was telling you on Tuesday nights, I'm running these tunes to get them in to get them under my fingers so that I will know them when I go into the studio. I'm going in the studio next month, and there is nothing like there's nothing like going into the studio and figuring out your songs in there. That's a great feeling. I'm just burning money while I finish this song that I should have finished last. So this song is currently called Apologies. Okay. And here we go. Take out and silverware all over the floor, and I can't get around here in my bare feet anymore. I had some ideas, I don't know where they are. They're probably rolling around in the floorboard of my car. Some people never learn how to read a room, but I kept hoping that this is a cocoon, and I was gonna turn into something better pretty soon. That ain't what happened, I guess you know. You ain't gonna crack the wall if there's no place you wanna go. Some people never learn how to read a room. It's alright in the morning, it gets dark in the afternoon. I hang on to your voicemail, I hang up at the tone. I don't wanna be a stammering voice leaking out of your phone. But if I don't tell you now, probably never will. Try to get it down longhand, if I can get the paper to hold still. But hear me out, way I figure, to get what you really want, the trick is you go for the opposite. You get what they hand you anyway, like they care what you choose. But you can't disappoint yourself too bad if you aim for the blues. Some people Some people never know when they're making it awkward. The day that we met, I owe you so many apologies you're not gonna get. I got a sorry goodbye for you though, I guess that'll have to do. Stick it under your wiper blade, I don't think I'll be calling you no more.
Yeah. That's beautiful, man.
That's one that I pulled back from being super, super, super sad at the end. Now it's just sad.
Now it's just a little sad.
Yeah.
So that's like real new then.
That's real new. I mean, it's actually been in the book. I mean, my songs, I tend to tweak on songs for a really, really long time. It was in some form like this a year ago, but then I did tuck this corner and do a little nip over here, and then change the ending of it, and so it seems new to me now. You know,
I like that. Well, it's I feel like it's good not to rush stuff and to finally craft it, like, you know, like something that makes I don't know, that makes cabinets or something out of wood. Like, you wouldn't just rush it. You want to make sure that every little bevel is perfect. And,
right.
I don't know if you feel this way, but I'm always taking these like courses on how to like be better at social media and be better at getting people to follow you, because making a living in music is so easy. And,
right.
and they're all saying like, you need to be putting out like a song every week, and like you want to release something on Spotify once a month or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, I've been working on an album for 2 years, and while part of it has been held off because of COVID and I haven't been able, we're starting to finish it now, but I feel like if you're just pumping something out for the sake of pumping something out so people can find you and follow you, you're not really spending the time crafting something the way it should be.
Yeah, I'm hung on those horns too. You know, I get you. You know, it's like I'm not going to get a song to where it's done in a week. I'm just not.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, now I don't know what the appreciable difference is between that week and the year later. If somebody heard that, they might go, "Oh yeah, you changed a few things," you know, like, no, it's so much better now. Is it? I don't know. I think so. But I also have a tendency towards being precious and like fussing over a phrase far beyond where there's any utility in it. I'll just keep chiseling and chiseling and chiseling, and it's like, yeah, it's really still the same song. But then every once in a while that really pays dividends. Like a big chunk of the song will fall off, and I'm like, oh, I broke the song. And oh, cool. Great. And then you end up making a much better song out of it. So it's like, I don't know, what's your process is your process, and my process is weird. It's weird. I can't defend it, but it is what it is.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just one of those things, I guess. I feel like I can tell when somebody wrote a song, and recorded it and released it within a week. It just, you can tell that, like, oh, that line was a good idea, but it could have been better.
Yeah.
But if you're just trying to throw it out there, then, I don't know.
It's got a lot of doofers in it, but it's like, yeah. But it's I don't know though. It's like some of my better songs came quickly, and then the body of the song came pretty quickly. And then I did that nipping and tucking thing to it, and it did improve it, but it didn't come over the course of 6 weeks. It came over the course of a day. And it's, but that happens when it happens for me, and it not that often. Yeah. That just something just kind of arrives baked. It's mostly it arrives as flour and yeast. And you
got to go to the store to get butter and eggs.
That's right. And by the time I come back, it's the mice have gotten into the flour. It's like
yes.
Let's belabor this metaphor a little bit longer. But yeah, it's pretty rare that something just I just barf something up that's like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'm in a couple of songwriting accountability groups that kind of keep that channel open as much as possible. It's like,
I wanted to ask you about that because I saw that you posted that on Facebook, like something about an accountability group. So how does that work? Do you meet like once a month or once a week? Or?
Well, I'm in two, and one of them is a once a month group, and you get your prompt the first day of the month, and by the last day of the month, by midnight that last day of the month, you have to upload a video into this private Facebook group, a song. And it does not have to be, ideally it's a song that you would be happy to gig somewhere.
Okay.
That's rarely true for me, but I do try to get it into a songable shape. It's like, all right, maybe this verse here is the one that I've really gotten now. This verse is just kind of gets me to the chorus, which is also written. Sometimes I get them done. In fact, the song I'm going to do next is something that the words came way faster than I'm used to for this next song, but the melody was so boilerplate. It was just like, it sounded very like another song that I'd written, and somebody called me on it, It's like, yeah, that sounds an awful lot like that other song. I was like, actually, it scans perfectly to that other song,
Really?
Yeah. So I had to like over the course of like a month reharmonize the thing. And now I really like it because it sounds nothing like the other song,
Is that somebody in that group brought that out to you, or?
No, but it was somebody who had been in that group
Okay.
whose opinion I really admire, and he was like, yeah, that hues a little bit close to that other song of yours. I was like, damn, I hope nobody would catch that. But,
Just don't play them back to back. You go
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 songs apart.
Or in this case, it's going to be an album apart. It's going to be, the other song. I like this song better than the other song, but I still like the other song. So it'll end up being on the next record.
Awesome. We'll have you sing in a bit, but I wanted to ask
Yeah.
you a couple more
man.
questions first. So how did you have you played music your whole life, or did you get into, what got you into specifically performing your own music, but what got you into music in general?
Yeah, I guess I started off as a kid liking records more, like I was like I loved the object of records. And then, there was a lot of that we played a lot of music, on those records as a kid. And I just always liked finding harmonies and seeing if I could match the Peter, Paul, and Mary or Mamas and the Papas or whatever it was that we were listening to. And I didn't start playing guitar until I was like 17 or 18. Finally got a hold of a guitar that would stay in tune and had decent, there was an Ovation, like the cheapest Ovation you could get.
Yeah.
But it stayed in tune and it had action that was reasonable. And so I started learning songs. I went off to college. I went to Belmont College in Nashville, and was learning a lot of James Taylor songs and learning Mike Cross and how to finger pick and stuff like that, but wasn't writing. And got into a situation. I went down to Hilton Head Island, in South Carolina. It's a resort town, and stayed down there for the summer in a residency and played covers in a duo, and just learned, a lot of James Taylor, a lot of Van Morrison, and Jimmy Buffett and those kind of songs. And so did that through college, then got into a band, and we also played covers, was not writing, and then met Anita and got married. And almost immediately, I was living in Nashville at the time. There was a fair few opportunities to play in Nashville at that time. Moved to Atlanta and just quit playing for 10 years. Just was just too busy. The kids came along, and just I don't know what it was with me in Atlanta, but I just didn't feel like playing music in Atlanta. And then moved back to North Carolina and just fished the guitar out from under the bed. That was like 2001. And then started writing about 3 years after that. Anita and I were like, okay, we're going to write stuff. Yeah. And, wrote my first song in 2004. Wow. Did that answer your question? I don't know if it did.
Yeah. So what did you go to Belmont for?
At the time, I wanted to be a recording engineer.
Okay.
And I actually worked at Masterphonics. I wanted to be a mastering engineer to cut LPs because I like records, right? And so I was working at Masterphonics at the time while I was at Belmont. And then took a summer off and went to Hilton Head, and came back and worked retail for 12 years, I guess, while I was in Nashville. And then when we moved to Atlanta, stayed in retail until 1998, when our second child came along, and I became the stay-at-home parent at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was no time for playing guitar with two an infant and a toddler. It's just no.
Yeah. Not unless you don't value sleep and you want to stay up all night.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And so then got back here, and there was just something about North Carolina that was very welcoming, and made me want to play the guitar again. And like my kids were in preschool, and I would go play Jellyman Kelly or the Ladybug Picnic or something like that for the kids.
What's the music scene? Because all I really know about Chapel Hill, North Carolina, is like Tiff Merritt, Ryan Adams, Whiskey Town.
Mm-hmm. Ben Folds is from here.
Ben Folds, yeah.
Yeah.
But I can imagine that. Is there a good music scene for like what you do as a singer-songwriter in that area, or do you find yourself in normal times traveling outside? In
normal times, I travel, but I would not want to discount the scene here. It's it's very, I'd say it's rich. There's a lot of great songwriters around here. It's sad, that we can't get circles together. I mean, when I say here, I mean here and Raleigh and Greensboro and places that are an hour and a half away. But there's plenty of great people in this area to play with. But I spend a lot of time in Texas because of Kerrville. I kind of made a lot of contacts while I was down there, and then did SWRFA, and so you kind of have a lot of friends down there too.
Yeah, and Texas is kind of like its own. Texas is like its own musical universe almost.
It was bizarre when I went there. I went to Kerrville the first time in 2013 because one of my really good, playing buddies up here was like, "You should enter." He like sent me the link. It was like, "Send these songs," and they got me in, and I went down there, and it really was like landing in Oz as a songwriter, because I don't know, it was like the opposite of this is not fair. Atlanta was probably not like this when I was there, but I did feel like everything was a cutting contest in Atlanta. It's like if you play, people would be like, "That's pretty good. Listen to this," and it's like, that's not what it was, but that's how I took it at the time.
Yeah.
But in Texas, it's just like, "You got a song? Let's hear it." And they're like, "Oh, that's cool. I like that. Here, check this one out." And if you got a part on it, play. It's that kind of a communal vibe. And that's also true here of Chapel Hill. It's like if I start, I want to list people, but I'll leave somebody out. So I'm just not going to say anybody. But
yeah, I understand.
But
yeah.
Check it out. Come here. It's amazing people.
As soon as things open up, I'll definitely be working my way down that way.
Yeah, and me up your way.
Yeah. Well, we'll switch. Like if you're coming up to Vermont, let me know, and I'll set up something with you. And
absolutely.
What's it looking like as far as are things starting to open back up down where you are? Or?
A little bit, yeah. The people are doing outdoor. I've actually got a couple of shows in 2 weeks. They're outdoor shows.
Nice.
But they're, who knows? I don't know how many people will be there, but they're going to be, one of them is actually a ticketed thing, where you go and you buy with your ticket a 6-foot square.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
And it's an outdoor area, and then the other one that I'm playing the next day is just, we'll be there. Come show up. Bring a deck chair.
Right. Yeah.
I'll be down here. You be on the berm. And we'll do this. And
what's that band that did everything in bubbles? Oh,
Oh, the Flaming Lips.
the Flaming Lips.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to do a bubble show.
Yeah, I'll be in a giant condom playing, you know.
Everybody stay back.
That's right.
Don't pop my bubble.
I've got my guitar and my taser.
Oh man. I want to have you sing one more song before we wrap it up, but first I have a gift for you.
What?
What? I got some buddies that started a company called Prolix, and they make guitar humidifiers. So I don't know what it's like in the winter in North Carolina, but I know you have to put your heat on, and then you got to keep your guitars humidified. So what they do is it looks like this. It's like this weird snake thing, and you probably can't see it, but there's these little like balls of gel that fill up with water and they don't leak.
Nice.
You just throw this in your case, and I filled this about 4 weeks ago, and it's still got a little bit of humidity in there, and I've just left it in my case, and they're awesome. And they're giving one to every guest that's on Coffee with Todd, so you're going to get one of these in the mail.
Sweet. Excellent. I thank you, and I thank them. That's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Because I actually am in dire need. I just got a 12 string that is curing as we speak. You know, it's like
it's one of the toughest challenges about acoustic guitars, particularly. I'm probably really bad about my electric guitar and forget that it's made out of wood. But the acoustic guitar, these are the best, man. You can put them in your guitar while you're playing.
Oh, wow.
I don't do that because I'm a dork, and I swear I can hear that the sound changes.
Oh, yeah.
Probably doesn't, but I just put it in the case, and it's amazing. And
fantastic.
It's fun to play with because there's all these like little tapioca balls of water.
Looks like one of those squeezy things that you can, like, you know, the Obi thing, the eyes bug out.
You don't want to squeeze it though, because then the water will go everywhere, and that's
don't squeeze it over your guitar.
No.
Yeah.
Speaking of guitars, is that a Martin?
It is. This is an HD 28V that I bought used off of the official Martin Guitar Forum in 2006. Yeah, up until then I owned a Takamine. I can't remember that. It was a cutaway Dread that never sounded awesome. You know, it was a plywood top, back and sides. It weighed a ton, but it was a warhorse. I had it 35 years. But at one point, Anita, bless her, was like, you need a real guitar. And so she helped me out. You know, I was saving, and she helped me to save for it. And then when I bought this guitar, she was like, I'm going to help you with this on one condition. You are going to play this guitar. You're not going to treat it like a museum piece. You're going to take it out and gig with it, because if you don't, I'm going to sell it out from under you.
Ooh.
So that took all the preciousness away from this guitar. You know, it's like, I'm still a little psycho about it. You know, It's like, hey man, can I play your guitar? Are you wearing bug spray? You know, I mean, yeah.
See, I'm lucky. I'm left-handed, so people never want to play my guitars.
Yeah. But I generally, you know, and like most contests that I've gone to, you know, I'm like, well, maybe I should take take your A guitar, you know. Right. And she actually she had a really good point a couple of years ago when I had bought this Recording King to take to campfires and stuff like that. Yeah. She was like, you know, your life is a finite thing, and you get to play your guitar so many times, and why not play the one you want to play every time, you know? And then at some point yeah, you're going to take it onto an airplane. They're going to take it away and smash it. But you got 170 plays out of that guitar that you wouldn't have. It's like, if you think of it that way, it's like, yeah, use it up and wear it out. It's so that's kind of the way I'm doing now. It's like I have the other guitar for a tuning or whatever,
Yeah.
but this is what I play.
When you fly with it, though, you must get nervous flying.
It's tense. Yeah. I usually fly Southwest, and I pay that extra $25 to be one of the first boarders.
Oh.
So you generally can put it in the overhead. But there have been times when I've just I've flown, like when I went to Telluride, the little puddle jumper, the last leg, it's going in the cargo hold, man. It's like there is no room in this cabin for this thing. There's barely room for your body.
I know.
So,
So they check it at the gate, right? Like it doesn't have to go down through the baggage handlers and stuff. Like you get it right when you get off the plane, they give it back to you, or
mostly, yeah. Like with Southwest, that is not true. If for whatever reason Southwest has to take your guitar away, it is going through the system.
Oh no!
Right, but so far that's only happened to me once, and I happened to have my Recording King at the time. And I had not bought that early boarding thing. And so now that's the insurance that I pay every time I book a flight with Southwest, is I just do the early boarding $25 thing. And then I'm first in line, and not first, but among the first. And
you're able to get it up.
Yeah. I might be sitting in the back of the plane, but there's a place for it, Yeah.
Yeah, I want to buy one of those Calton cases, but that costs more than my guitar's not even worth what that case cost.
What are they, like $6,000 or something?
Yeah.
I have a case that looks like a Calton case. It's what's it called?
Dalton.
Yeah, it's a Fulton. It's called it's a Cross Rock, and it looks like a Calton, but it would crumple like a Coke can. It's shiny, and it's shaped like a Calton, but it is in no way, like if you stand on it, it will dimple. It's yeah.
Yeah, you don't want that.
But it keeps, it seals the guitar in. It's so far been okay for me. But if I get back to doing a lot of traveling, I might have to rethink that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, let's do one more song before we say goodbye and go make breakfast.
Yeah, man. This has been a blast, man. I really appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. I've got my list of people that I've been wanting to bring on Coffee with Todd, and you've been on it for a while, so I'm like, all right.
Oh, excellent. All right, man. Well, I'm going to do the one that I reharmonized, and you haven't heard the other song, but this song is called, currently, it may change, but it's currently called Look Out. And you'll see why as the song goes on. Look out for the people who love you, 'cause I never knew love to be loud. And I've been squinting into faces for 70 years, and I could never pick it out of a crowd. But when your eyes acclimate to the carnival noise, you can make out the pretty from the true. And then look out for the people who love you. They're looking for you too. And look out for the people who love you. when they gesture for you to come through into a house where the floor might be a little bit sticky, but you still need to take off your shoes. There might be a diary left open to a sensitive page you can read, but don't ever let on. Yeah, you look out for the people who love you, and they'll never be gone. And they give it up for nothing, then you get to earn it. Use their hearts like a muscle, and just watch how they turn on you. And then, brother, look out for the people who love you, 'cause you handed them the keys to your life. If you got a scar on your spirit, somebody who loved you was probably holding the knife. It's right there in the name of the contract. It's engineered to be misunderstood. And look out for the people who love you. They can mess you up good. Yeah, look out for the people who love you, 'cause I never could.
I forgot to turn my mic back on. That's beautiful, man.
Oh, thanks. Another happy one for you there.
I love happy songs. I like, was it Tom Waits says, I like beautiful melodies to tell me terrible things?
Yeah.
I tend to agree with that. Like, I'm a pretty happy person, and you seem like a pretty happy person as well, but happy songs kind of me.
Yeah. I mean, if you've ever been to a Richard Thompson show, he's a blast.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
I haven't seen him live yet, but I want to. I love him.
Yeah, but I mean, his songs are just, oh my God, just death and pestilence, and and then he cracks this just wicked joke in between. I remember seeing him one time. Somebody asked him to play something, and he was like, "Oh, that's 3 sad ones in a row. I'm near to tears." So,
oh my God, that's great.
Yeah. But man, thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. I'm so glad I got to finally meet you.
Likewise, man.
I really love your writing. So
thanks, man. I really enjoyed your song up at the top of the.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you got a groove, man.
It's got a groove. Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to get funky. Well, do you have a cup of coffee to do a cheers with?
I absolutely do.
And I'll be in touch with you after the show to get your address to send you that humidifier. And
please and thank you.
Yeah, we'll stay in contact, and if you come to the Northeast, we'll.
Yeah, man, I'm looking to.
Yeah.
So yeah, well let's stay in touch.
That sounds great, man. I appreciate it. Well, thank you so much.
I clink you, tink.
Thanks, man.
Thanks a lot, Todd.
Have a wonderful Sunday.
I shall. Well, I'm going to be laying plywood upstairs. That's what we're doing today. So this is a great start to the day.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm going to be mowing the lawn, so I'll think of you while I'm mowing the lawn.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to be ripping boards.
Oh man. Well, have fun, man. Thank you
so
much.
Thanks, man.
We'll catch you later.
All right.
Ah, yes. That was so much fun. Wes Collins. I take my little earbuds out, and normally I'm smart enough to get their website and put it at the bottom, but I was not smart enough today, so I will post Wes's websites in the comments, but it's wescollins.com. Let's see, what should I do for the final song here? Thank you to everybody that tuned in. Lynn and Emily, I'm glad you got to see Wes and he inspired you to revisit some old songs. He's such a fun. It's great. I spilled coffee while you were in the room. Just to stay on track, because that's how I roll. I'm gonna do one more song, and then it's the breakfast, and the sun is coming out here in Vermont. Once again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and I'll throw down my links if you would like to help support the show. Those are my links, and I appreciate everybody show every week and everybody that chips in and my guests. It's so much fun. And David, I saw that you had a 7-Up can phone. Where was that comment? Yeah. What the hell is a 7-Up can phone? I'm assuming that it was made out of a 7-Up can. I'm going to do one more song, and then we're going to go make some breakfast and enjoy the sunshine. I'm actually going to do a song, since Wes is from the Chapel Hill area. I figured I'd do a Ryan Adams song, just because. I'm going to sing a song about North Carolina because my guest is from North Carolina. I went down to Houston and I stopped in San Antonio. Well, I passed up the station for the bus. Was trying to find me something, but I wasn't sure just what. Man, I ended up with pockets full of dust. I went on to Cleveland and I ended up insane. I bought a borrowed suit and learned to dance. And I was spending money like the way it likes to rain. Man, I ended up with pockets full of cane. My sweet Carolina, what compels me to go? And oh, my sweet disposition, may you one day carry me home. Never been to Vegas, but I gambled up my life, building newsprint boats, a race down sewer mains, and trying to find me something, but I wasn't sure just what. Funny how they say that some things never change. Sweet Up here in the city, feels like things are closing in. The sunset's just my light bulb burning out. And I miss Kentucky, and I miss my family. How the sweetest winds they blow across the south. And oh my sweet Carolina, what compels me to go? And oh my sweet disposition, may you one day carry me home. May you one day carry me home. All right. Thank you very much. All right, that looks like that's the show for today, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you to my guest, Wes Collins. We'll bring up his picture again. There he is. WesCollins.com for more info. Next week on Coffee with Todd, we have Tim Brick, a Vermont country singer from I think he lives in the Barry Montpelier area. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll ask him. He's gonna be on the show next week. As always, thank you to everybody for tuning in and watching and sharing the show and telling friends about it and drinking coffee with me. It's always an absolute blast. And we will see you next Sunday. And oh yeah, happy Mother's Day, everybody out there that's a mother. And happy Mother's Day if you're not as well. David, yeah, I'm gonna go. He says to go mow my lawn. I'm gonna go mow my lawn right now with a push mower as well, because folk singers, we can't afford tractors. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching Coffee with Todd. We will see you next week. Be safe, be well, and of course, have good coffee. Cheers, everybody.